Well, hello everyone who may or may not be watching this. I'm Ken Plume with my delightful little lo-fi picture-in-picture and an open chat session. Haven't done one of these in quite a while. I've had some stuff I was waiting to do one of these, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've tried to schedule them over the past couple of weeks. Just didn't work out. Now it worked out. So this is sort of a last minute. Let's see what we can do. Try not to hit the camera. See, I'm just not used to doing these things anymore. But I got some fun stuff that has come in that I kind of would want to open. I do want to open. I'm going to open. That's what this is about. This is open chat. If you're familiar with Force 5, that's the show where I have folks on to discuss their 5 favorite Star Wars collectibles. We have a lovely conversation that's here on this channel. You can go check that out. Open chat is much more loose. I just sometimes me, mostly with a guest, come on and we just have a conversation while I'm opening stuff. They're opening stuff. That's what this is about. If anyone is here and has questions, feel free to put those in the chat. As always, you can hit that like button. You can uh, you can send a super chat. You can subscribe. You can do all kinds of the things that you do here. There's an Amazon wish list. There's Patreon. Some fun announcements. I got some patron exclusives coming up. Some interviews from the vault. Got a Patrick Warburton interview I did back in 2004. That's like 90 minutes. That's a whole life comprehensive interview with him that never ran. It's going to be made available. You'll find out more about that soon. That's at patreon.com/Ken Plume. But right now, we're going to open up some stuff. Oh, hey. At least, thank you, Luke. Good to see you. I'm glad somebody showed up. Even if you're just dropping in to say, hey, I do appreciate it. Since this thing will be up later, you can catch up with it. But I'm glad you stopped by. I finally finished the the tweaks, the customizations, the fixes for Balin and Shin that you very kindly brought to the community and fixed those figures that needed a little bit of TLC to sort of make it all work. In fact, let me, for anyone watching this later, I have done nothing to Sabine. Sabine is just the normal Sabine. This is a Gore the God Butcher Thor Love and Thunder figure cape that I just for the fun of it threw on the Ahsoka and thought it looked cool. So that's that. Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait to see that. Luke, you continue to be a treasure for the Star Wars and collecting community. There is the height fixed, Balin, and I did follow your guidance on that and use the Riva thighs to make him a much more proper height. Here is the customization that I did on Shin. So Sabine figure to be able to do the thigh swap for that was still too expensive to buy a brand new Sabine just to get that height fixed. But Moff Gideon, the credit collection, was on sale for like $7 at Ollie's. So never going to see these underneath there. But that is the Moff Gideon credit collection thighs on Shin. I did the weathering on it. And also did some weathering, what's a wash on the hair. And also a wash around the eyes. You can see there. I mean, and touched up where the moles were, but yeah, that's just wash on the hair. Oh, I cut out, I don't know if you can see, I notched out the hair as well, so it didn't have that sort of curtain uniform Sia look that the regular figure comes with. And then, yeah, obviously painted the little braid. But yeah, notching out the hair like that for me, I hit upon that as that might be a thing that works. So did that because I certainly don't have the money to get to pay for a custom head. And I thought there was a decent sculpt under there. just with I mean, honestly, the hair, just doing that wash on the hair makes a huge difference. I think I did a gray wash. I think that might be a gray wash, and then I made sure to leave a little more where the roots would be. Uh, so yeah, that is. So now they all together, I think height wise, look pretty good. I think it turned out swell. Again, I guess we shouldn't have to do that with figures that we pay so much money for, but it happens. Who knows what happens in the production process that these things happen? I mean, they're obviously created so far ahead of time before the actual projects come out. These came out pretty close to when Ahsoka actually ran, so it was a pretty good track record for when we've usually been getting figures. So, sometimes we have to do things to make our figures look a little bit better or make them look how we want them to look. And that's why there are customizers like Landspeeder Luke out there giving us tips and hints. So many great folks out there in the community. But yeah, so I think height wise, I think now that I know, because I know that Shin is a little bit taller than Sabrine. So Sabine. So I think that works out now. There's the height difference between the two. I mean, not perfect, but I think it's a little bit closer. Either way, I'm happy with it now. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Maybe some slight wash, customizing, weathering to Balin at some point, but that is not a priority at all. But yeah, let me move that out. Move Ahsoka. Move Sabine. So yeah, this will be opening a few things that I've gotten in. Not all Star Wars. There's going to be some Disney in here tonight, and some Lord of the Rings. So I think maybe we'll do that first. Maybe we'll open up these Lord of the Rings figures that came. Because Diamond Select sent over the new Samwise Gamgee deluxe figure. And they also sent over the Soraman, which I have been looking forward to this because we need a really good Soraman figure. And more Christopher Lee figures is just great. So I think I'll open this Samwise figure first. Let's cut open. It is. It is a late night stream. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the late night stream. In fact, I think we might have to turn the air on a little bit. It's getting a little warm in here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get the Samwise Gamgee figure open. Again, if anyone has any questions. Oh, I'm not going to say it. You know what? I'll say it maybe when I get the figure open. That's when I'll drop it. And howdy, Ken. Good to see you. Why aren't you on this stream with me? You've only done 57 live streams this week. You couldn't do this one? You're live streaming all over the place. Ken Knapsack from Force Center. Everyone should be subscribed and listening and watching everything that they do. Anytime with him and Alden Diaz. Again, watch, subscribe to that. And Pop Rock and Radio, which I think you just did tonight, a new Pop Rock and Radio, right, Ken? Which is Ken spinning some amazing tunes as a fantastic DJ. This thing out of the way. I don't know how some of these streamers do it. Because I do have a cluttered desk, so it is a little bit ridiculous how many things I have on my desk. But they all seem to have so much room for doing all these unboxings. And me, I'm afraid I'm going to cause an avalanche and knock things all over the place. Where the heck's the tape? There's a piece of tape holding this. Oh, it's over there. Always in the last place you cut. I mean, you got to finish it. I respect that. I respect that you're staying on target. You're going to make that happen. There we got his cape. You got his backpack with his many pens. Is there a pot? Where's the pot where he makes potatoes? His potato pot, which I think is the official. Oh, he comes with. Does he come with Sting? Oh, that's nice. I know as soon as I try and get the rest of these out, I'm gonna knock these hands all over the place. Let me do this. Oh, this thing is tied together. They're just trying to foil me. Yeah, we got multiple hands. Not only do you have multiple hands, we got the little box of spices, I think is what this is, isn't it? Okay. Oh, we get two versions. Oh, no, we don't get two versions. That's Sam's sword, and this is Sting. So he does come with his own Sting. That's all glowy. But when he detects goblins and orcs. Let's take a look at the Sam sculpt and paint job. I mean, Diamond Select, over the past year in particular, I'm assuming they got access to the whole face printing technology. But they're really doing a good job. Those recent Fantastic Four figures are great. And this Samwise is a really great representation of Sean Astin. Sean Astin, who I had the pleasure to do, maybe like a 3 or 4 hour interview with around 2003, 2002. You can go find that on my site. Go check that out. Great guy. Very down to earth. Let's see. I don't think we can put the backpack on and the cape. So we'll put the cape on first. Oh, you actually have to take his head off to put the cape on. Oh, let's do that. Pop that off. Okay, there we go. Looking good with his elven cloak. How's he stand? Stands real well. No stand needed. What's he got here? Oh. To light the way. And they really stepped up the quality on all these accessories. I mean, Diamond Select would put out okay figures in the past, but always, the one place that always was a letdown on the Diamond Select stuff was the paint jobs on the faces, just by the nature of, how hit and miss paint used to be on figures, but they really dialed it in now to make for a great figure. But this one goes out to Ken Knapsack. Let's see. There we go. I ain't been dropping no Eve, sir. Honest. It's close enough. It's about as West Country as you're going to get out of me right now. Uh, let's see. Let's get this pack on. It's going to be one of those. Does it plug in? Okay. Oh, thank goodness. The ones where you have to try and thread them around the arms are always a pain. This is slightly more brittle plastic, though, so I would be worried about breaking these straps. Maybe you could get this thing on with the cloak. Let's see. There's the pack. No. And I don't think, did he ever wear the pack? Wear the pack over the cloak? I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in so long. Actually, I guess this should be underneath. That way, you know what? We're spending way too much time on Samwise. We're going to leave him like this for now. With his pack on. Standing over here by Crosshair. There we go. I like it. I think it's a great figure. I think they did a great job on it. All the pictures I had seen of it prior. I was got the scabbard as well for his sword. Where's his sword? There we go. Goes in there nicely. Yeah, all the pictures I saw, I thought it was going to look great, but seeing it in person, it really is. Let's get this Saruman open now. Very excited again about getting a Christopher Lee figure, which the last one we would have had just a Christopher Lee figure, I think was the Dooku that we got in the Black Series. And we're about to get a Dooku in TVC. Let's hit the microphone. So professional. So very professional. Okay. Let's get him out of here. We got some swampable arms. We got a Palantir. Okay. There's the figure. Ooh, that new plastic action figure smell. That is pretty strong coming off of him right now. Okay, so we got Palantir is separate, so he doesn't always have to be holding the Palantir, and I mean it's translucent, so that's nice. Plastic, not glass. That is going to roll right off. So what's interesting, because this is always, I mean, this is why a lot of figures like the Emperor and such, they go with cloth, is because you have the drape on long sleeves, which, anytime you try and bend an elbow with that, you're going to get that static sleeve effect because it's a solid piece. This solved it by having separate crooked arms with the drape of the sleeve. So you're going to swap the arms to get that sleeve drape. And I don't think the scale is the same as an Emperor figure. Otherwise, it would be kind of interesting to see if you could repaint those and customize it as an Emperor. Yeah, because I think, aren't these figures a 7-inch scale? Maybe they're not. Oh, no, they're not. They're not Black Series scale. I think they are a 7-inch. Yeah, they're definitely taller. Though Christopher Lee is tall, that is way taller than a Black Series figure. Oh, and there went the Palantir. Knew that was going to happen. Oh, well. We'll get it later. And he's got his staff. Oh, good. That's a staff arm. Let's see how easy. Right? That's how easy these are to swap. Oh, that comes right out. It's not hard at all. And I don't know if that's the right one to hold it. Probably not. But you can see basically. But it's got that correct drape for when the arm is crooked. Nice. I like the way they did it. Let's see how that Christopher Lee sculpt looks and paint job looks close up. I mean, I think it's a really solid Christopher Lee sculpt. And the paint job is pretty good. And he's a little on the tan side, I'd say. Like he looks like he's had a bit of sun today, a bit flushed. Maybe this is after he's done some wizard fighting with Gandalf. But I think it's a great figure. I'm very happy with it. After anticipating it for, oh gosh, when did the Gandalf the Grey come out? 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? So we've needed Saruman for quite a long time. He's going to be over there. We're going to move these arms out of here. I like it. You know, I'm going to save that Disney one. I have that Darkwing Duck set, which is also why I put my original Playmates Darkwing here. I have Diamond's big Darkwing Duck and Nega Duck set, but that box is so massive. I might save that for last. I think I should save that for last because that's going to be a nightmare of trying to open that and show it off in any way. So we're going to open something different. TVC or Black Series? What should I do? If you're in the chat, would you like a TVC thing open right now or a Black Series thing open right now? Or I also have, well, you're deciding that. I'm going to do this. Is it Epic Heroes? Is that what they're calling the line? No, what's Epic Heroes is the, maybe it is Epic Heroes for the new sort of kid-centric. Okay. Ken votes for Black Series. We're going to do the Black Series right after this. Epic Heroes, Darth Vader. I'm a sucker for Darth Vader figures. And I mean, most of the other ones didn't terribly excite me. They were very simplified, certainly in the paint tops. But it's a new Vader figure. So I figured, you know what? I got to at least get the new Vader figure that goes with this new line. But these are limited, super limited articulation. I think it's back down to the 5 POA, maybe even less. And super limited paint applications on it. But the price is also a heck of a lot cheaper than the vintage collection right now. So, you know, back to the price range where these figures could actually be for kids and not just adult collectors. Yeah, the packaging is really striking. And it distances itself from that classic Kenner packaging, so people are not going to confuse it with TVC. And certainly, you know, with the sub $10 price, they're not going to confuse it with the $17 TVC either. But yeah, you got comic art, you got straightforward figure shot on the back. Let's get this opened. Where is... trying to open this as neatly as I can, which anyone who's watched these knows that that's what I try and do. Yeah, looks like that side. It's not going to be as neat as I'd like it, but I do save my card backs. That's an old thing I was always keen on when I was a kid too. Save them. This is just stymieing me. There we go. Okay. Well, at least the artwork is mostly preserved. Has this got tape on the back? No. This process is captivating. There we go. Not as clean as I would like it, but still got it. Let's get Vader out of here. Little name plate. And a lightsaber. Rather straightforward lightsaber. I'll get the TVC, the most recent, the Dark Times one. Pull that out so we can compare the two. I gotta move the Waffle Emperor to get Vader out. It may be a little bit dusty, so you have to excuse me. So there's the Dark Times TVC Vader, the like premium Vader that we have right now. Got a cape. Does it come off? Yes. Thank you. Anytime you have to try and thread that cape through that little plastic slit, and it's a pain in the. So we got no cloth. We do have a separate rubber piece for the skirt. Yeah, there's no knees. We got legs, no elbows, just arms and head. Yeah, we're back to 5 POA. I think the only paint on here is red and green for the buttons, and then the silver highlights on his armor piece, on his chest. Let's see. Scale-wise, same scale as TVC. Same height. Not as bulky, I would say. So he's slightly more skinny, less buff. He's less buff than, excuse me, the TVC version. I mean, it's a solid sculpt. Still, there's no mistaking that it's Darth Vader. It's a straightforward Vader action figure for a kid. Rubber cape, little peg in the back, keep it on. Got a simple lightsaber, no paint on it. Thicker than the average TVC lightsaber. It's a kid's figure. It's a great kid's figure. Yeah. No complaints. You know what? The head, I don't know if the head rocks. I think the head might have a little bit of a ball joint on it. Because this doesn't feel like I broke it. It feels like that ability to tilt it is a feature, not a dumb thing I've done to the figure. So yeah, Epic Series or whatever it is, Galactic Pals. I forgot what the name of the figure line is. The new kid centric, but it's great. Where can we put him? Put him right there. I know that lightsaber is going to catch on something. Let's see. What do we have next? Black Series. I promised Black Series to Ken Knapsack, so I think I got this at my local comic shop. Shout out to Memory Lane Comics, parts 1 and 2. They have 2 shops right across the street from each other. And yeah, I did not pick this up when it came out a few years back for the Empire Strikes Back 40th, but managed to pick it up now. So this is Snowspeeder Luke face printing. I'm excited about it. I've been looking forward to it. Let's get. See, here's the thing where, again, my desire to save these card backs. I'm going to take this tape off because you got plastic flap from the front, tape down here, tape down here. So you got to get, and the tape will come off. These are the things that I think about. While I'm doing this, anyone watching, if you got any questions, comments, let me know. Sorry I was not able to get a guest for this edition of Open Chat. That always makes these bits of me slowly peeling a piece of tape off so as not to rip a card back far more interesting when I have someone to talk to. But I don't. I tried. I don't. If you want to watch some great episodes with some great guests, go look back in the archive. They're fun conversations, including with Ken Knapsack, who may or may not still be in the chat, Joseph Scrimshaw, Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky, John Hodgman, Mike Case, Patrick Cotnor. Yeah, there are a lot of fun guests that I've had on Open Chat. Molly Damon did an Open Chat. And just about all these folks have also been guests on Force 5. So go check those out as well. Oh, he's hanging. He's hanging. Well, I'm opening this Black Series for you, Ken. We're nearly there. We're nearly there with the tape. See, I don't want to rush it. As soon as I rush it, then I tear. That slow, steady process. Is anybody else besides me? I would love to know how many other folks like to keep the card backs. I mean, certainly, I know a lot of people keep the boxes on stuff like vehicles or larger things. But on the carded figures, how many other people keep the card backs? I like them because, I mean, they look great. This, TVC, those vintage card backs, it hurts to throw those away for me. Particularly if you're going to be a little careful and remove them. I'm not ever intending to recard anything. It is merely, there we go. So you can see that flap is now free. And this flap also is glued down just a little bit. So we got to see where, yeah, that's tamped down. So we're going to have a little bit of tearing on this side. A little bit. Slowly peel that up. There we go. Okay, so that is dislodged. Now we can cut into this because you need to peel that flap up. Then anyone who's seen what I do with these is I slowly work my way around. Try and preserve as much of the art as I possibly can. As I'll throw the bubble away. I'm not keeping the bubble. I'm not recarding this thing at some point. It is saving the card back. I saw a comment come in that I do want to highlight, and I will in just a second. Once I make sure that I do not screw this thing up by trying to rush or multitask. Okay, there we go. Let me highlight this comment real quick. And hello, Spellgood. Welcome this evening. What's crazy about collecting is that at some point when you were younger, you had access to all this stuff cheap and didn't know it was worth something down the road. Yeah, I mean, yeah, hindsight is great and painful. So yeah, I mean, so much of the stuff I have recollected that I used to have. Well, but I've done it before, but I can't stay committed to keeping all of them. Yeah, I mean, certainly the card backs, they're flat. That's a lot easier to keep. Boxes are a lot harder to justify when you're space challenged when it comes to storing things. There we go. Okay, so that was what I was able to preserve. I feel pretty good about that. Again, it's not stuff like that. I'm not terribly concerned about it. Do I wish it wasn't bent? This came from whoever traded this in to the to memory lane. That happened before I got it, but I'm not losing sleep over it because again, I'm not preserving this as an archival piece. I'm preserving this as just a nice little bit of art card fun for me as part of my collection. Uh, oh, you did, huh? How, how expensive were they? And can you send them to me? I would take. I don't have any 70s and 80s vintage card backs uh, right now. I know they can either go super cheap because many people just see them as garbage, uh, or people are way overcharging for them. I think it's because they're also potentially selling to a lot of people who are going to try and recard their figures on vintage cards, or just want it complete for their display, which is also a thing and perfectly valid as a collector. Uh, Let me see. 7-8 bucks a piece. I mean, yeah, that's not bad considering. Well, I mean, that's about as much as the figures. Maybe they would work out a bulk deal on them. Uh, so I'm trying to. And hello, Neon Starflower, the second channel. Yes, collections. All of our collections. Oh, well, thank you for having the art book. The Art of the Venture Brothers book now, sadly, it seems out of print fully. So, good luck to anyone who has it. Maybe something along those lines, some announcement that's not an art book, but maybe something along those lines will be worked out in the near future to make. I gotta say anything. Uh, but thank you for having the Art of the Venture Brothers book. I'll just saying the Art of DuckTales that I did is also available and still can be purchased, unlike the Venture Brothers book, which you have to get in the secondary market. But the Art of DuckTales, also great, also an amazing show, an amazing book that spotlights the artistry of a lot of amazing people. Highly recommended, not just because I helped to make it. Oh yeah, I forgot. They also have I mean, Venture Brothers merchandising has been weird over the years. You had the Biff Bang Pow figures, and that sadly that line had a lot more figures than I think folks were anticipating, and a lot less than there should have been, just by the nature of Venture Brothers merchandising in the market at the time. I wish it had gone on a lot longer. I mean, everyone involved, I think, wish it had gone on a lot longer. It's a really, I mean, the body's a little outdated, but I think the sculpt is great. It's a great Luke Skywalker. I'm going to have to heat this up and fix that. That's a bit Dooku right now, but easily fixed with some warm water. Uh, I mean, any Venture Brothers stuff, you definitely should get while you can. And I know they have T-shirts now available. I think through the Titmouse website that are actually designed by Doc and Jackson, uh, and supervised the creation on all of them, and are actually participating in the sales of it. So you're directly supporting the artists themselves, the creators of the show, uh, when you purchase those new line of T-shirts from Titmouse. I don't want to. I don't know how this helmet comes off. I think you just because I want to take a look at the face printing on Luke, but I don't want to muck up the helmet. Yeah, I don't want to snap that chin strap because I think the chin strap is attached. You know what? I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to leave it for now. We'll just do a zoom because there's a great Luke under there. I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to muck it up by trying to rip it off right now. while not really paying attention to it. So I'm going to be careful. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to leave it on, and I will explore it later in more detail. Yeah, now the chin strap's all wonky, but we'll deal with that later. Give Lucas lightsaber. It's very hard to put these things on when you're trying to reach around a camera that's in front of you. Okay, let's. He does not have. I mean, is that the extent of what the elbow will do? Jeez. That's not much of an elbow bend. Okay, we'll turn that in so that lightsaber doesn't catch anything while he's standing there. It'll still catch something, I'm sure. Stand him over. You can have a conversation with Saruman. And hello again to everyone watching. You're watching Open Chat. This is the show on my channel where I usually will talk to somebody. Right now I'm talking to all of you while I open the figures in that have come that I have not opened yet. Ken Knapsack asked, have you opened any G.I. Joe 6 inches that they've released in the last few years, and can I have the Baroness? I have. I do have some of the G.I. Joe figures for sentimental reasons. I do not have the Baroness that they released. Who do I have? Who did I pick up? I picked up the Tomax and Zaymot because Ollie's had them for like $4. So I couldn't pass up doing that because those are certainly from my era of G.I. Joe figures. Ollie's also had for $10 the Sergeant Slaughter, which came with a little packaged Sergeant Slaughter figure with him. I had to pick up Sergeant Slaughter. Who else do I have? I don't have a Hasbro 6-inch Cobra Commander, but I have the animated style one that Super 8 did for Cobra Commander. I want to say there's somebody else that I got. Maybe that's it. Oh, Shipwreck. I got Shipwreck. Because again, my era, sentimental favorite, and he came with Polly. So I got Shipwreck. I wouldn't say that I would not have the Baroness figure. I would have a Baroness figure. I haven't come across the Baroness figure yet. If I found it, I would get it if it was accurate to the animated style, which I think there's a G.I. Joe Classified release that is pretty accurate to that. Yeah, I think those I haven't run across yet. I would probably get a Snake Eyes, probably a classic Destro. Trying to think, do I have? No, my Cobra Commander is back behind me on the shelf. I do not have any G.I. Joe quickly to hand, or I would show something off right now. And also, please do not doubt our friendship, Ken. Let's see. Let's open TVC figures. They've been waiting to get opened because I finally picked up this just as part of my completionist mind, and I got a discount on them. So this is the Galaxy of Heroes, which is essentially the way of branding it through the game, but it's really just expanded universe stuff. So we get Jedi Knight Revan and HK-47 TVC releases. And let me get them out because they're both carded individually in here. Yeah, well, there are complaints always on both sides when it comes to Wolben says we need that HK-47 in the Black Series. Black Series collectors say that TVC get everything. TVC collectors say that Black Series get everything. When the truth is, they both get some things. and it's never going to be satisfactory for either side. Ultimately, let's open this. So there's the before we get it open. There's a Jedi Knight Revan. The journey from dark side back to the light is complete as the legendary Revan finds redemption as a white-robed Jedi Knight. I love that those are unpunched when you get the card backs in these box sets. So let's try and preserve the card as best I can. So this was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but they have also been showing up at GameStops. And a lot of the Hasbro Pulse exclusives seem to be appearing at GameStops. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay. Nearly there. Almost there. Okay, so did the outside cut to try and preserve the outer edge. For anyone who wants to try and replicate how I open it up. I know some people will cut against the plastic and just leave the plastic attached, like that bottom layer, and slice the bubble that way and preserve the art. But I think those are people who are going to be attempting to recard it in some way. I don't know. There we go. I'm happy with that. That's a nice clean removal for me. Oh, dear Lordy. I got a super chat. Part of my new Baroness fund, Ken Knapsack, thank you very much for the super chat. I think that is my second super chat ever on these streams. And I appreciate it immensely. And thank you to anyone else who may or may not do it or contemplating support of my Patreon. In fact, just a reminder that you can become a patron of me for even at the $1 level, you get access to all of the exclusive content on my Patreon. And there's a lot of stuff there. There's interviews, there's comedy quiz shows with a ton of special guests. There's these archive interviews, which you can also buy separately if you want to buy them. I did. If you're a Venture Brothers fan and you haven't yet heard it, you can purchase right now for $3, which is the least amount that Patreon would allow me to sell them for. It's the lowest price I could set. But it is 3 hours with Doc Hammer, and we are discussing the history and creation of every one of the Venture Brothers holiday songs that we've done over the years. And you can go get that going to the shop link on my Patreon, patreon.com/Ken Plume. Go get that. There's also an archive interview I did with the late, great Rene Bourgeois, who played Odo on Deep Space Nine. That I would love if people could check out. Like I said, there's a Patrick Warburton interview that I've pulled from my archives that I'm currently cleaning up the audio on. That's going to be available in the next couple of days on the Patreon. And cheers, Wilbin. Thank you. And I appreciate the compliment first and foremost, and I appreciate the super chat as well. And thank you for watching Force 5. Yeah, the show is a weird labor of love because I just love talking to folks. As you know, if anyone's listened to the hundreds of episodes and interviews I've done over the years with all kinds of great people, knows, or anyone who's played Fortnite with me, shout out to you, Ken. I love to talk to people about all kinds of stuff. And that comes out in all the shows that I do and have done. There's the card back for HK47. Another nice clean removal that I'm happy with. I'll read the back of that. A hunter-killer droid from the Old Republic era. HK-47 is a deadly assassin with a dark sense of humor. Okay, well, this is the first time hearing that nickname, but accurate. Okay, that's done. Got all that. So we'll put all that box away. What else do I have? I sort of pull this out. So Patreon, like I said, there's a lot of great stuff coming. I have a lot more archive interviews that I'm going to be bringing out. And I think some of the interviews that I did as print interviews in the past, I may clean up the audio on those because they're great and just release them as podcasts. But then you can actually hear the people that I was talking to. Yeah, he's going to be holding that blaster weird, and it's going to fall out of his hand. This is just a repainted or different plastic color Build-A-Droid re-release. Revan's nice. Also just a repaint of the recent Dark Side Revan that we've gotten. You can also, other ways to support besides these very kind super chats or just becoming a patron. There's the Amazon wish list link for just equipment that I need or weird fun things and stuff I may open on the channel. You can go find that in the description below near that button where you can hit like, which is a thing that YouTube likes and I'm supposed to like because YouTube says I should like it. You can also hit the subscribe button if you have not. But we're going to open something else. What do we have? I do have some older figures. What do I have here? What? So, what? I still have that. I'm going to open one more Star Wars thing. And then I think, just because I've been running a little long, we'll do one more Star Wars thing. And then I'm going to open up that big Darkwing Duck box, the Darkwing Duck Negaduck multi-figure set that Diamond Select sent over. And if you know me, I'm very critical of my Disney stuff being on model, and I've been very disappointed over the years by what we've gotten as far as the Disney ducks and the Disney afternoon characters and how they've looked. So I want to get that out of the box and check it out. Star Wars stuff. Should we open up? Okay, here's the choice. I have two hologram figures here, and I'm going to let you all decide which one it should be. These are both from the Saga collection. Saga collection was 2006. So this was the action figure line right after Revenge of the Sith in 2005. Our two choices, well, not our two choices, your two choices as to which one I should open, are the holographic Obi-Wan Kenobi or the holographic Ki-Adi-Mundi. Ki-Adi-Mundi or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hopefully, we'll be getting a pre-order about the Black Series Ki-Adi-Mundi that we've been waiting what seems like forever to get. Okay, well, we got one vote for Ki-Adi. If I get a second on Ki-Adi, then it'll be Ki-Adi. If there's, I don't know how many Pilks are watching right now. And then Ken makes the strong argument, Ki-Adi-Mundi, because I can sell the Kenobi to Joseph Scrimshaw. That is true. And it loses all value to him emotionally as soon as I remove it from the package. So We got 2 Kiadimundis from Ken and Wilbon. So it's going to be Kiadimundi. Excuse me. So we'll put the Obi-Wan over in the script shop pile. I'm sure Joseph has all the Obi-Wans. I'm sure he has that one. I love this era because they put the figures in situ. So the card backs were completing the scene that the figure exists within. So that's what I think that's Ayla Secura, a hologram version behind him, and Yoda is back there. So this is as they're sitting all around that meeting table in holographic form. There he is. A little screenshot from the film. Holographic Kiadimundi, Battle of Coruscant. During the Battle of Coruscant, Jedi Master Kiadimundi is assigned to lead a strike team to battle the droid armies stationed on Mugito. Is it Megito? Mygito? Ken, help me here. He appears to the Jedi Council via hologram and reports on his progress. He fights bravely until his clone troopers suddenly change allegiances and turn on him. During that famous scene, order, oh no, the Jedi are being shot. 66, Order 66. We all know it's Order 66. Mygito. Ken says Mygito. Hey, Luke. Welcome back. We're opening up a holographic Kiadimundi. Hopefully, we'll all be opening up a Black Series Kiadimundi sometime this decade. I have my doubts. Okay, this thing, I remember this tape is going to be a nightmare. So I'm going to remove that tape later. I'm just going to slice this carefully for now so we can get them open. And then I'll take my time in my quiet Zen hours of removing that tape fully from the back of the packaging. Because this, I remember this tape is not very good when it comes to taking it off. It is very sticky. Seems a weird thing to say. Take a serious sip. This is whatever the adhesive they used is not as clean to remove from a card back as the more modern tape is. There we go. And then we can get this off the front. And this is what we also got exclusive hologram figures as well. Okay. Mygito. This is Kiadimundi reporting from Mygito. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe he'll be in the Mace Windu series with Samuel L. Jackson. Okay, I'm going to pull this thing a little bit closer to me to get this. Okay. Let me get that started around the edge. But would we want Kiadimundi back? Was he the most wrong Jedi? Like, I think it would be great to have him and Mace Windu back in a series, because talk about a pair who just couldn't figure it out. The two of them about the most blind Jedi on the council. Gang who couldn't shoot straight when it came to good decision making. Or I don't know, just simple curiosity when it came to maybe investigating what was going on. Pair of them. Pair of ginos. Jedi in name only. Okay. Around that. It really was the blind leading the blind woman. And yes, I mean, I guess you do have to have on the Jedi Council, the Jedi representing that sort of arrogance that led to their downfall, or one of the many things that led to their downfall. The other thing was probably not restocking the snacks in the council chambers. And well, it came off nicely. There's the card backs. That's why I meant that you have this sort of scene backdrop for Kiadimundi to exist within on the card back. Let me get him out of here, and then we'll show that off. Got to have a holographic lightsaber. How many times have we seen a lightsaber ignited on a hologram? The only one I can think of that comes to mind was Maul at the end of Solo. Ken, paging Ken Knapsack, can you recall any other times we saw a lightsaber lit in hologram form besides that? And I'm correct in remembering that, I think, right? Kiani likes kind bars and Great Bed cereal. Yeah. He takes his popcorn with no salt at all, gets very angry. I mean, it's just the basic Kiadimundi figure in translucent plastic, but that's fun. I like that. I like translucent plastic. Same way I like LED lighting. Let's light them up. This flashlight's got a better light than those hockey puck bounty collection figures. There we go. I mean, the camera's not doing great for that, but the effect is nice in person. There we go. But yeah, so I was talking about the card backs, and what's fun about these card backs from this time period is it is the background for the characters. So fun. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Kiadimundi holocron, because they must have made a lot of those. And they probably need to find a way to move them at this point. Okay, let's get him. I do like the era that also comes with logo stands for each character. We really didn't know how good we had it on a lot of these things at the time. And there's for some reason, the holographic Rebel Soldier. Because sure, why not? But hey, you got an extra little bit of something in the package. Not bad. Was that in Attack of the Clones when he reported in? Like he was reporting right before he went to go attack Jango? Or stop Jango? Or was that because he didn't light it right before he didn't communicate before Grievous, right? Where he would have lit his lightsaber on hologram. I don't know. Trivia question for people who care about trivia. So was the end of Attack of the Clones when he lit it on hologram? Before the big Geonosis battle? Or the battle with Dooku? Okay. Well, we got it sorted. I believe all of you. You know. You know more than I do. Okay, we're gonna try and open this Darkwing Duck. I can't even get the package in camera. I think I can get a corner of it in camera. Look, oh my gosh, it's gonna just knock stuff over. Yeah, that's what I can get in camera right now. There's a picture on my Instagram. Go to my Instagram and you can see it packaged. But I'm gonna try and open this thing right now and get these out. Because then we can just talk about the figures bit by bit. Because I'm very surprised by how extensive this figure set is. Because you very rarely get this for Disney figures. I have not been happy with the Darkwing Duck figures that have come out over the years. The Playmates was just awful because they sacrificed a lot of visual fidelity for the action features. Knock some stuff over with this box. Oh no! Okay, no, oh, knock my water over. That would be not good. Okay, we're nearly there, folks. This is the best part. I'm gonna see if I can get any of this in camera. Okay, but you can see their feet. I'm gonna try and slide this down. You can see a little bit more. We'll pan across. We'll get these out of the package. Look at. I mean, this set comes with a ton of accessories, 2 figures, Darkwing and Negaduck, an alternate head sculpt for Darkwing, 2 alternate head sculpts for Negaduck, their hats, an alternate cape for each of them. This is the kind of stuff that you would see from like a Metacom, like a Maplex or an SH Figure Arts. You certainly don't normally see it from Disney stuff. I know that Super 7's been doing their Disney figures, but they're very expensive, and some of their stuff has been hit and miss when it comes to the visual fidelity. When I say visual fidelity, I mean, are the toys on model? And that's a big thing for me and always has been since I was a kid. And led to a lot of disappointment for things like, Skeletor, He-Man figures not looking anything like the cartoon. Transformers figures not looking anything like the cartoon. G.I. Joe's not looking anything like the cartoon. Star Wars figures not looking anything like the movie. But some of the most disappointing examples have, over the years, been almost dropped everything, but I did not. I saved it. This is very comical. You can't see any of this right now, but I hope the sound alone is driving home just how awkward all of this is and how much physical comedy is happening just off camera. Okay. I'm just going to slowly make piles, bigger piles over here. The Disney stuff has been very disappointing over the years. Muppet stuff, outside of the gloriously on model 99% of the time stuff we got out of Palisades 20 years ago, which is ridiculous to say. And Diamond Select has done some nice Muppet stuff as well, just at a smaller scale than the Palisade stuff. Okay. We're nearly there, folks. Almost there. Okay. So that part's done. That's just a ball. And it's done. But I got all the stuff out of it for that part. And again, a bunch of hands out. Are these the same hands? I think this is the same hands for both of them. It comes with alternate hands, but I think they're the same sets of alternate hands for both figures. So I don't think I don't have to worry about getting these mixed up. Okay, that is really stuck in there. This makes for some great YouTube. This makes for some great YouTube, don't it? Just a middle-aged guy struggling to get action figure hands out of packaging for far too long. That's the one. There we go. Okay. And yeah, okay. That's out. Good news, everybody. We do have a bomb. Let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you can call DW. Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. And a nice machete for Negaduck. Okay, now get the rest of these hands out. 1, 2. Yeah, you thwarted me once, hands. You're not going to thwart me again. Unless you do. One more to go. One more to go, folks. One more. Oh, that one came out nice and easy. We look a doofus for the other one, huh? Okay. Here's the alternate hands. What do we got here? So I do want to show. So talking about disappointment. Here's the original Darkwing release from, what would it be, 90? 91? From Playmates, which you had this action feature for the hat. You know, because its hat would, I guess, spin out of action things happening. It made no sense. It bothered me so much because his hat would not sit flush down on his head. In fact, as a kid, I got 2 of these figures just so I could, because I always wanted to preserve the actual version, just so I could chop off, get that mechanism out of there, chop it out, and have a hat that sat flush on the head. That's how keen I was on the fidelity of my figures to the source material. I mean, it's not awful, but yeah, it was a disappointment as a kid. But this is an improvement. A huge improvement. And it's much better. There was another Darkwing figure that Funko put out in their Disney Afternoon line. And that Disney Afternoon line was so disappointing to me. Uh, because most of the figures within it just looked awful. The Scrooge that they did, the DuckTales, the original DuckTales era Scrooge, was not good. The Launchpad was not good. The Gizmo Duck was tiny and but fine-ish. The Huey, Dewey, and Louie were bad. Probably the best they did was the Baloo and Louie from Tailspin. But the Baloo was probably half the size it should have been. But this is the first time we've gotten a proper Darkwing Duck figure. So it does have the interchangeable capes. So you do have to remove the head to swap out the cape. So you got the flowing action cape. I wouldn't say that I guess the arms are kind of like that Luke. They're not super great when it comes. That's as much of a bend as they have. Uh, you got articulation at the feet. And legs. Oh, okay. Well, they got some ball joints. And no waist swivel though. But there's Darkwing, who does also come with his standard non-flowy cape. Where's the hat? Let's see how the hat sits. Let's see, it's going to be that way. It's good. I mean, I could probably press it down a little bit more. It does not sit bad, but it does have the hairs in there that it's got to accommodate. So it's not perfect, but it's certainly better than what I just showed you from Playmates. Yeah, so there's Darkwing. There's his cape. Let me try and stand him up. Let me take a quick look at Negaduck. Some of these accessories. Don't fall. Don't fall. Yeah. Instead of Darkwing, I've got Danger Mouse's theme playing in my head. Wolben, thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it immensely, as I said. And hope to see you the next time around. Oh, and go pick up those card backs for yourself. For your collection. You need those vintage card backs. Where's Darkwing's alternate head? That's Negaduck's. So this is the only alternate head we get with Darkwing. I mean, it's a pretty good sculpt. There's the alternate head for him. Let's take a look at Negaduck. Which, body's going to be just straight repaint. On Darkwing, the big difference you're going to get is that head sculpt. Because he has the same standard cape and the same flowy cape, just again, repaint of the Darkwing, which is, he's Negaduck. He should just be essentially Darkwing, with the difference being his expressions on his face. So you get standard Negaduck there, and then you get this alternate head, and that alternate head. Oh, so you got mouth open, mouth closed. Is the only real difference between those two. And I'll take it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Sorry. Uh, so you get two alternate heads with negative. This is Darkwing's other cape. We got stands here. I'm assuming for when you got their weapons out. Maybe it's for them. I'll have to figure out how the stands work to hold them up. Maybe it's just you prop them in the back with it. Huh. Got a chainsaw for Negaduck. Machete for Negaduck. We got this Darkwings. Now this is Bazooka. Bazooka for Negaduck. Most of the weapons are Negaduck's weapons. So that is not for the bazooka. The smoke. So it's going to be for Darkwing's gun. And so that, yep, plugs right in there. This is heavy, though, so maybe that stand is supposed to support the weight of that. Huh. Or again, it's for the figures. And then we got two versions of the grapple. Undeployed, and then one in the process of being deployed. Got some gold metallic paint on it. And yeah, then you got the bomb with the fuse on it. And then again, you have these same set of hands for both of these. You got what comes on them, standard grippy. Two fists, left and right, for both of them. And then these weapon trigger finger hands. Like I said, both Negaduck and Darkwing each come with those sets. I mean, these are great. These are great compared to, again, what we got when I was a kid. An older kid, granted, by the time I got that Darkwing from Playmates' release. But I'm glad that somebody got this license and is concerned about being on model with the characters. It makes me excited and hopeful for the original, not only the original DuckTales, but also the 2015 DuckTales to get its due. 2017 DuckTales. I did the book. I should know the dates. The 2017 DuckTales, as well as the original DuckTales, to both get. Hopefully, solid action figures like this. Oh, can you imagine the Tailspin figures, the Goof Troop figures, the Rescue Rangers figures? We get so many great on-model figures. Hopefully, this is a success. As a Disney Afternoon fan, Darkwing Duck fan, I recommend them. They're great. Could they be better? Sure, everything can be. But these are as close as we've ever gotten to being perfect. And at the very least, I hope that this does well enough to encourage this line continuing and evolving. So yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. This has been a healthy session of open chat. I've been Ken Plume. If you're watching this in the future, which I'm assuming most of you are, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Go back and watch the other episodes of Force 5. Go back and watch the other episodes of Open Chat. Go listen to my podcast, A Bit of a Chat with Ken Plume. Again, there's hundreds of episodes with incredible folks as the guests on those. Go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Ken Plume. Become a patron. The $1 level, get access to all of my exclusives by doing that. Like I said, you can go get that Doc Hammer interview on the Venture Brothers holiday songs. You can go get that Rene Bergenois interview. Those are both available on the Patreon shop. by just hitting that shop link. When you go to patreon.com/Ken Plume, you can buy both of those. Patrick Warburton is coming up soon. That vintage vault interview, never before released, that I did with him. And Amazon wish list is down in the comments, the description below. Thank you for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. There will be more of these soon. There will be guests coming back. There will be episodes of Force 5. There will also be a new show that I'm launching that I can't talk more about just yet, but that will have great guests as well. And go follow me. Blue Sky, I'm Ken Plume on there. Insta Ken Plume on Instagram. Go check out all the stuff. Thank you very much for watching this episode, this live episode. It was live when I'm here saying this. It's not now when you're watching it in the future. Either way, bye. I'm gonna wave while I look for the stop live end stream button. Not awkward at all. Bye. Bye. Bye bye.